Among the top 18 producing winter wheat states, Nebraska is one of only 3 with no wheat rated as excellent. The others are Texas and South Dakota. Overall, this hasn't been a perfect year for production, as only 31% of the U.S. winter wheat crop is rated good or excellent. That's the lowest rating in those categories at this time of the year since 2006. With growers trying to maximize their yields here in Nebraska, Stephen Wegulo gave us an update Wednesday on disease issues, starting with an update on rust concerns.
Across the state, the risk for rust remains low. We have had one observation of stripe rust at Meade in Saunders County. This was about 2 weeks ago. But we have not had any new reports of rust. And this is mainly because the amount of spores of rust that blew up from the southern states into our region has just been very low this year. And so we have very little stripe rust, and we have not seen any leaf rust so far.
With the warm-up, do you expect any leaf rust or no?
We expect leaf rust, but probably to a very small extent, because as of last week, very little, if any, was seen in Kansas, and even in Oklahoma, which is further south, we had very little leaf rust. So we don't expect much leaf rust to develop in Nebraska this year.
What else are you looking at right now? What are some of the other diseases that are maybe giving growers problems?
Well, right now, the major diseases we are seeing are the leaf spots, and there are 2 main ones: septoria leaf blotch, we call it septoria leaf blotch, and then tan spot. So these are leaf spots. They start in the lower canopy, and they work their way up the canopy, and they are favored by wet weather, and if wheat was drilled into wheat stubble, then the risk is pretty high, because the 2 fungi that cause those 2 diseases overwinter on wheat stubble.
At what point do you think about treating them with a fungicide?
We recommend to protect the flag leaf.
Okay.
If the flag leaf is not threatened, then you're fine, and especially if it doesn't rain, the conditions for those 2 diseases developing up to the flag leaf are pretty unfavorable. But if you have rain or you have irrigated wheat, then you need to keep scouting and monitoring, and if they approach the flag leaf, you have to be prepared to apply a fungicide to protect the flag leaf.
On average, the wheat across Nebraska is not in excellent condition, but it's also behind normal, and
Right.
A few weeks behind where we were at this point last year. With some of it starting to get into that heading stage, what issues might arise?
Well, in the heading stage, one of the concerns we have is fusarium head blight, or scab. It's also called scab. And in areas where we have precipitation during heading, and especially around flowering, the risk for fusarium head blight can be high if we have rain. And so folks need to monitor the weather. If the wheat is flowering and or heading and wet weather is forecast, then usually we recommend applying a fungicide at early flowering, and that can significantly reduce the damage caused by fusarium head blight. So right now the risk in Nebraska is low, but it can change depending on weather conditions.
If you're using a fungicide, Stephen says it's important to note any label restrictions that may apply. We'll link to his recent Crop Watch article on the same subject on the Market Journal homepage.